you mean by
There we go.
that?
Look, you don't have to listen to me, but you're wrong. Listen, I know I'm great. And I know you're thinking, Dante, there's no way I can be like
Yeah.
you. But you
All
can
right.
be me, you know
Waiting
why?
for everybody to come
Because
back
you know
in.
who I was? Before I was me, I was you.
Man School 202.
Better hear what I've got to say because you won't get it again.
I'm not an alpha male. I'm not a beta male either. I'm just a better man. Better man. Well, put your happiness first, because if you don't, they won't.
Hey. What up? Technical difficulties already. Thank you. Thanks to the great Stan Powerful Xavier. Just waiting for everybody to come in. Sorry, I had to restart the computer. You know how it is. Let's go. If y'all hear me good, let me hear. Get a thumbs up in the comments, and then we'll kick it off. All right, we can get it going. I'm ready to go. So much on my mind. The phone lines are up. So if anybody's got some, I know I haven't been up as frequently as I can, so I know somebody's itching and got some stuff on their mind. Good to see you, Mimi. Christian was popping. Hoping my team is back in. Darren in the building. Yeah, it's something I think is an interesting thing. I had a interesting week, and I want to say that I find this to be a matter of what up, JR? This is a matter of, it's not a masculine thing, it's not a feminine thing, it's a thing in general. And what I mean by that is, sometimes when you find yourself in a pickle where your emotions are running rampant, I got an interesting response from two different people, okay? Same response, but an interesting response. A friend of mine is actually going through a breakup, and there are obvious things that, just like if somebody had paid me for a consultation, I would have recognized and pointed it out. Just like if you guys had called in right now, don't forget the numbers up, 929-4922. Let me get the Cash App up. I don't know what happened to that. Shit, okay. And put the web call up just in case. Yeah. So, but yeah, this would be the same thing as if one of you guys had called me up. I would absolutely have told you the same things. And I think I'm coming to the conclusion that a lot of the stuff that goes on in relationships have nothing to do with some level of deviance. I think sometimes, and I mean, I talk about this so frequently, how fear, emotion, in the context of anything it stunts your ability to make decisions. So I've been going. My buddy's been going through a breakup, and I called to check up on him because I know it's a situation where I think that he's emotionally still involved in a way that I don't think he really understands, if that makes sense. And when I'm pointing out these objective truths that I see, which is interesting because he would trust my my advice. He has referred other people to me. He's asked me questions, But when it came to him being in his own relationship, I think it became a situation where he has a real problem with seeing it himself. Maybe he thinks he's above it. Matt, you call me. We mean, man, yeah, just call in. The phone lines are open if you got something going on. And so me pointing out these simple concepts that I've said over and over again, these are things that you guys have heard me say to people on the lives. And I want to be clear. I don't always think that people are always. I honestly don't think that people are malicious. I'm not saying nobody's malicious. So take a walk. Go for a walk and call me. Something must be going on if you hit me like that. But because you're still emotionally in it, he's not willing to see, not able to see what I'm talking about. And so the response happens that where, because of fear, because of not wanting to deal with the fear, I get attacked. Yeah, that's kind of crazy that I'm the one. He's willing to fight me, the person that is in his corner above all else, always has been in his corner, but he's willing to fight me. Even to the point where he's lashed out at me. There's personal stuff. Matt, if she put you in jail for 24, you got to call. You got to call. So get out the house or whatever. She put you in jail for 24 hours. I need to hear this story because which means that she had to call the cops, and I believe that somebody to call the cops on you, you never know what cop you're gonna get. And so somebody calls the cops on you, and if it's not called for, if you're not sociopathic out of your mind, somebody is risking your life, because that's all you need to do is get some cop that doesn't know how to de-escalate, and you could end up dead. So you need to call in you need to call immediately, because something is going on. But getting back to my boy is in a situation where he can't see. No, I think he sees it. Well, I don't know. I can't really, I don't read minds, but I do read patterns. And because of the fact that this is a painful situation since he's going through this breakup, and he can't leave at the moment, right? So he ends up fighting me. Threw some dirt in my face. I don't mean literally, but something that happened in the past, threw that up in my face. And so it's crazy because in one sense, I've always been a solid dude when it comes to him. Always looked out. But for him to throw what he thought was some personal shit was almost, it was in the context of, yo, get up off me. Get off me. Stop telling me the truth. I don't want to hear it. I got it under control. And the interesting about all of that is that he don't have it under control. He's being manipulated. Now, let me say this about the young lady that he's dealing with. Absolutely has some mental issues. Definitely somewhat bipolar. Catastrophic depression. When I say catastrophic depression, a situation with somebody who is Chicken Little. Like, every time something happens, it's tragic. It's out of control. It can't be fixed. It's just, things are so horrible. What are we gonna do? And you can't fix it, and I don't want it fixed. It's just a milieu of so many things. It's horrible. And rather than deal with their own fear because because I'm honest. I'm credible. So if I'm pushing you forward, if you have said to me that this is something that you want, and I'm pushing you forward, then I'm only doing that because I think that you're capable of. I think that you're capable of doing it. I think that you're competent. And I'm pushing you forward because this is what you said you wanted. I want the best for you, and therefore, I'm gonna push you in that direction. Now, if you tell me to lay off, you ain't gonna do it. You don't want to do it. I'll back off. But a lot of times, people don't have that. They don't have that. They don't have that ability to be honest with themselves, and so they'll fight you. You're the person that's trying to help them. They'll fight you rather than fight the person who's being disrespectful, the person that calls the cops on you, Matt. They'll fight everybody else because they don't want to deal with what's in front of them. And I've really been thinking about this for the last couple of days because I had two situations where that transpired. And one of those situations almost cost the relationship. Because if you tell me to leave you the fuck alone, you want to do what you want to do, I'll do that. I may give you a little parting statement that, like, you do understand that once you stop pursuing your best self, we got a call. Let's see if that comes. Come on. Come on, baby. Let's see. Come on. You're probably going to have to come back. Call back. It got disconnected. But I think that was a 646 number. Call back. But rather than deal with me, hello? Let's see. Hello? No. Let's try it again. Rather than deal with me, they'd rather fight me and stay in the same situation that they were in. Let's see if we can get it right this time. What's your name? Where you calling from, family?
Hey, what's up, Dante?
What's
It's Juan from Rhode Island.
What's going on, Juan? How are you, brother?
I'm good, man. First off, I just want to say I've been following your stuff since 2018.
Okay.
2019.
I appreciate you.
And I always refer all of your stuff, especially the rules, the dating rules,
Yeah.
Facebook rules. Yeah.
Okay.
I always tell any of the guys, I always refer to stuff that the irony. So I'm in divorce, but I'm doing me in the sense of I'm working out, I'm eating right,
Okay.
and I'm at a point in my life where I'm real picky as far as the type of woman that I want. And at this point, I don't know if it's
Hold on 1 second, because they're saying they can't hear you. So give me a second. Let me just change the settings real quick. Let's see if this is it. Go ahead. Let's see if y'all got me. Do y'all hear now? Do y'all hear?
I'm here.
In the chat, do y'all hear? Let me get a sounds soft, low key in the background, but we can still hear his voice. Okay. Well, at least we fixed that. Say something.
Hey.
All right. Okay. Let me turn him up a little bit. All right. Cool. All right. Yeah. Let's go. What? So you said you've
Okay.
been divorced. You're very picky.
Yeah. And I'm at a point in my life where I'm focusing on the gym. I'm focusing on making money. And but the thing is I think I've been homeless for about 2 months, and I'm getting my life in order.
Okay.
But I'm talking to some girls, but part of me is at a point where it's like I don't even think it's worth it. In the sense of, I guess, if I'm being completely honest with myself, it's a little bit of sadness from like my previous relationship, but also this shit is I'm doing it alone,
Right.
but I feel like I gotta drop my standards just to not be alone.
Well, wait a minute. So how did you end up homeless? What was it?
I packed up and left.
Okay.
She had a girls trip, and then she came back. She told me she flirted. She got hit on. I asked her if she liked it. She said, yeah. I said, okay. So that was the first thing I had to hear. And then she told me she didn't want to be with me. So I was like, all right. Well, I felt like that's kind of all I needed to hear. And I packed the bag, and then I left.
Okay. Did you not have a plan, or did you just was like, I'm out of here? Were you just so emotionally distraught that you just wanted to get out?
Yeah. I was working still, so like I was still making money, but that's kind of what it came down to.
Okay, so then where did you go?
I know this lady. She's real cool, so I'm staying over at her place in my car. But that's kind of just it. Like there's nothing going on. Yeah. So
All right,
it's just a place to park.
let me say something first. What you have to understand, Juan, it will all change. Everything will change. Just like you were in a relationship with a woman married and that changed, and you're sleeping in your car and whatever now, right? Your situation will change. It will not stay the same unless you actively try to stay in the same place. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
And so are you still working or no?
Yeah, I'm still working. I got a place lined up tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm moving in there tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, I guess I had a lot of time to contemplate and reevaluate everything, like in these past 2 months.
Right.
And I kind of came down to that conclusion. It's like I see a lot of red flags, a lot of them that I personally oversaw and just chose to ignore.
You mean in your wife? In your wife?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
And
okay.
yeah.
No, go ahead. Finish.
I basically just came to that conclusion that I'll either have to drop my standards and not necessarily ignore a couple of red flags, but it's 2 months without no play at the same time. But I'm also not trying to get in a relationship because I know I'm rebuilding myself in my life.
Stop. Let's put this in perspective. You literally sleeping in your car. You still got your job. You had a situation when you were married. You were under the impression that you were in a happy marriage, and the whole thing changed, right? How old are you?
32.
Okay, and how old was she?
32.
Okay, so here's what you got to understand, that there is, I'm not going to tell you that this is not an obstacle for you to overcome, but even before, if you had said to me you had just moved out, if you had called me and told me you just moved out and you were sleeping in the car, I would have sat with you. We would have sat, this phone call would have been, okay, what is your plan? How are you going to move forward? Let's define what that is and focus on that. okay, so that you can get a roof on your
Right.
head. But what's crazy about this is that you already got a place that you're getting ready to move in tomorrow. You understand? So
Yeah.
you understand that things are already changing, right?
Right.
I absolutely understand that you overlooked some things. There were red flags that you overlooked and stuff, and that even that is something. The simple fact that you can that you can acknowledge that there were these things that you overlooked, and that is also a positive, you know.
Yeah.
The third thing about this is that the fact that you knew you were overlooking at them, these are things that you won't overlook again. Now, what I want to say is that nobody's going to be perfect. You're never going to find somebody perfect. But what do I say
Right.
all the time? I said, you got to know what your non-negotiables are and then never negotiate them, right?
Right. Right.
And I get that you felt like you wanted to get out. But, you know, I mean, and what's done is done. But look, I'm quite sure you were paying the bills and the mortgage. Did y'all have a house or just an apartment?
Yeah. No, you hit on the head. I was covering damn near everything, at least 85%.
And what kind of job does she have now?
She doesn't. She's in school.
Okay, and so what is she going to do with this house?
We're renting, so she's living in it now, and now she's covering it.
Okay, and how is she covering it?
She's got benefits from school, so
Okay.
she's getting paid to go to school for now.
Right, but you do understand that this is all going to go to shit, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that you were covering 85% of everything, and that the money, that whatever benefits she was getting was going in her pocket. Now she has to cover this rent and she got to keep the dice rolling. You understand? So
Yeah.
she's gonna really, if she hasn't already understand, this is the second month that she's having to pay the rent. You're not paying her rent and you're not helping her out, are you?
No.
Do y'all have kids?
No. Yeah. I just started paying child support, but
Okay,
that's about it.
did you file and get child support? Or did you just start paying it?
No, we just had court less than a week ago, and I've been floating her a couple $100 every. This is the second week.
Okay, now the floating her, are you keeping records of that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not giving it in cash, are you?
No, this is digital.
Okay, all right. So that's the first thing. You want to protect yourself, but understand something. When people want you out of the house, they 90% of the time they don't realize what you do in that home that they take for granted all the time. You understand? And
Yeah.
the fact, how many kids you got?
We got one.
Okay, so do you understand? Now she's got to pay for. I mean, look, whatever the courts are gonna give you for child support, they're gonna do. You got to do what you got to do to take care of your child. But what she doesn't understand is, she would have never been on no girls trip if she was single watching this kid. You understand?
Right. Yeah.
And so it's an insanity kind of thing where you take for granted how you ended up in this situation in the first place. The only reason why she was able to neglect the relationship was because you were footing the bill.
Yeah. And she had help from her friend too.
Yeah,
To help pay her
and that's
ticket.
fine. They look, her friends gonna help until they don't help. And
Yeah.
when they don't help, she's gonna be on her own. They don't care about her like that. I don't care who your
Yeah.
friend is. I mean, it's survival of the fittest, and the fact that they're on that shit now, like, yo, girl, let's go on a girls trip, whatever. All of that goes sour, and the fact that you sound like a really good dude, and she will miss that, but that's not even the point, man. I don't even want to give her the time of day for this because it's just a really dirty thing to do. And I mean, she might think that she's got it all figured out, but I'm gonna promise you, she doesn't. This will all go to shit.
I agree. I think that's where she's at right now because she's been I mean, I was up, but she sent me text messages asking me if I'm up, but I'm not, I'm not going to reply to her unless the sun is out, because I just felt like she was trying to reach out and trying to say
Of course, she's trying
something
to
with the,
say, because now she understands. You see, like I used to say this thing back in the days, like, if I'm not in your life, you'll never eat pickles ever again, because there'll be nobody to open your pickle jar. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
there's so many things that as a man, that just as a good man, that you do on a day-to-day basis, where you don't even think about it. You know what I mean? Stuff like getting oil
Yeah.
changed and stuff like
Yeah.
open the pickle jars and fixing the hole in the wall and changing the light bulbs. There's just so many things that we just do on a regular basis that we don't,
Right.
that's not even taken into consideration, because it ultimately is part of being a man, So,
Yeah.
but here's what you got to understand. This whole thing about you not, this thing, you're forward thinking about, where does this all go? I haven't been with nobody for 2 months and da 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 da. Dude, just slow down. Get your roof over your head. Start to put yourself together, right? And then
Right.
once you straighten it out, I don't ever think that anybody should be out there looking for a relationship, not man, woman, or otherwise. You should be dating, getting to know people, meeting people, hanging out with people, and then at some point in time, somebody's gonna strike you as somebody that you want to be with. But trust me,
Right.
what I don't think people understand is that the better you get, okay, you down and out for 2 months, dog, but you're already back on your feet. Do you understand? And things are gonna move. Things are gonna move further. Now, here's is the curse, and I want everybody to hear this. Everybody that listens to the live and calls in and does consultations, understand something, and especially the women that are on the live. The better you get, the less you will tolerate.
Yeah.
And that's not a matter of your yes, your standards should go up. If you should be able, as you get better, as you get your life together, you should know what you want and know what you don't want. And what you don't want, you don't have to have. You can have whatever you want. I'm a firm believer in that. So this kind of desperation
Right.
that you have is just you moving too fast, and it's gonna, if you just keep chugging along, I promise you that it will work out, and you will eventually be dating and stuff. You just keep listening to the lives, and I'll be here, and we'll talk, and I'll talk you through it, and we'll build you up, and if we gotta do it to the point where you gotta get on the live and call me every live, and we'll walk you through it. And I notice the listeners, they'll walk you through it. I mean, this is a family, man. I believe that in my heart and soul, man. When I'm in the comments, man, it's nothing but love, and I mean, it's just, I think it's cultivated in that way because I don't tolerate nothing less than that, and it becomes a reflection of me. So whatever you got to do what you do. But I don't think that anybody should be looking for a relationship. I don't think that I think that women should be dating with marriage in mind. But if you haven't gotten somebody that gives you that spark, or somebody doesn't fit that bill, then move on. Because if you're married to, like, there are people who are married to getting married. And you don't want to do that, because all you're going to do is pick the wrong person. Because you want, I say this about women a lot of times, but sometimes it's men too, where you want the wedding, but you don't want the marriage. Because the marriage is work. The marriage is work to keep it going, to keep the dice rolling, to keep the interest. You got to date your wife way after you don't wanna. It doesn't change. The same things that you get, same things that get her is the same things that keep her. And I don't know if that is. I don't know if that was what happened, and we're not even gonna go into that because this is past tense. But you need to move forward, just like you're doing, and grind and just keep on track and keep moving forward. And somebody, and you know, if you're talking or whatever, and you're getting yourself on, you know, once you get your place and whatever, you know, don't. I don't want you to be one-dimensional either. I mean,
Yeah.
we always got time for a drink or a coffee with somebody or to spend some time with somebody, because you might be missing out on somebody that's right there near you, and you're not gonna know until you talk to them or you spend a little time with them. And understand something, you gotta pick, and it's for everybody. You gotta kiss a whole lot of frogs before you find the princess or the prince.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
what
you hit it
you also have to understand is the better you get in your life, the more satisfied and the better you get in your life, the more likely it is that your standards are gonna go up. That's not just because you've going through this breakup and you gotta understand something. How long y'all been together?
We were married for. We've been together for about 6.5 years.
Okay.
Almost 7.
What you don't want to be is in a relationship with somebody who doesn't want to be. You don't want to do 7 years. You don't want to do 8 years after the marriage is over. So the quicker it falls apart, the better you are. You got me?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I packed the bag and left, because I wasn't trying to do the whole separation thing. I'm like, nah, if I'm married, I'm living in one roof.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. So I'm glad I did what I did, because you know it showed, it kind of introduced that to my son, as hard as it was. But
Yeah.
you know, there's no confusion. You know what I mean?
Right. Lets him know how he's supposed to act. That when he's unhappy, you got to make ultimate decisions. Don't give ultimatums. But Juan, we're here for you. Okay.
Thanks, man. Respect. I appreciate it.
Just keep grinding, brother. I promise you, this too will change. Okay.
Yes, sir. I agree. Thank you.
All right, brother. Later.
All right. Later.
That's an interesting thing, which is, it's funny that call came on, because this is exactly what I was talking the opposite, where people stay in the situation where the situation is already over, and people are, you know, you're misrepresenting what it is. You don't really know what it is, or you know what it is and you're ignoring it because you understand it on a logic basis, but you don't want to be honest with yourself about what's actually going on. And so, man, it's bold. I mean, I don't know if I'd have just left and went homeless, but I respect it 100%, because it makes it, you know, what'll happen sometimes too is you go through a breakup, and then the person who's breaking up or whatever doesn't think you're worthy, right? They'll use you as their rebound person, because you're still in this relationship. You're in a situation where you're doing all the things that you would normally do, right? Usually by the time the relationship goes to shit, you're probably not having sex anyway, because you're both so frustrated, or because things are not clicking. Very rarely does a relationship go left and you're still having sexual relations. It happens, but very rarely. So you're not having sex, but you're in a relationship with somebody who doesn't want to hold up their end of the bargain. And you're not having sex, but you're still doing all the things that you would do in the relationship. And so you become your own rebound guy. And you're there, and you get the comfort and the favors and all the things that are involved in a relationship, minus the sex and minus the commitment. And it just you don't want to do that to yourself. And that's actually what's happening with my friend. He's in a situation where he's making excuses for all that he's making excuses for all the things that he thinks that he wants, that he thinks is going to happen, and this is going to happen. And you got to play to win. And I respect Juan for going, yeah, all right, you don't want to do this, I'm out. and I'll make it on my own, and he will land on his feet, because anybody who is that decisive about making a decision like that is decisive enough to get on their feet and live an even better life than they've ever lived before. So there's that. Phone lines are up, 929-269-4922. There's always this situation that just I've been exploring this in my head, how they will throw bail money. They'll throw bail money for the person that's being abusive. They will literally throw bail money to the point where they'll I've had guys where I've done consultation with guys, and where, a guy will tell me, yeah, she's very my wife is very disrespectful, and she's very flirtatious, and da-da-da-da. And then I'll go, well, why do you think she's flirtatious? And then I'll say, well, that is clearly disrespectful. You need to fix that, or you need to, if she, like I've always said this, knowing your non-negotiables and then never negotiating. That's the same way to be happy. So if you're in a situation where you don't like this behavior, or you don't like the disrespect, you have to be willing to walk away from it, because if you don't walk away from it, then you're saying with a no answer to that is still an answer. It's an answer that says, the way you're treating me is fine. It is acceptable. And because it's acceptable, I'm going to sit here and take it. Now, it doesn't matter. You can bitch and carry and cry about all the things that ain't working, right? But I promise you, your silence is the thing that is going to be read as, this is fine. This behavior is fine. And as long as you're saying this behavior is fine, it will continue. I promise you. Nobody, I'm not going to say that people don't change, but I will say this, that it's very rare. Hold on. Very rare does somebody change without something catastrophic happening. Very rare is it a situation where somebody will not have...
To send a voicemail. Call from...
Hello? Call back. I'm sorry, brother. Call back. I couldn't get to the line as quick as I'd like. Just call back. What'll happen more than anything is that you'll find that, call back, brother. I'm sorry, I couldn't get to it right away. Lines are still open, 929-269-4922. The thing is that they'll tell me that my wife or my girlfriend is disrespectful, or my wife or my girlfriend is flirtatious, or she's cheating on me, or I think she's cheating on me. And then when I will repeat the same thing, like, I don't even know you. Like, I'm talking to you on the phone. This might be the first time that I'm talking to you. And they'll go, yeah, well, she's not that bad all the time. She's not always bad, or this or that or the other, because what will happen over and over again, there'll be a situation where now, because I'm quoting the things that you said, the things that you're complaining about, and I'm saying, well, if this is happening, and I'm, if this is happening and I'm pointing out what you said is the problem, right away then they start making excuses. Well, it's not that bad. And I was like, I don't even know her. Of course I'm answering the chat. If you put something in the chat, I'll answer it. But there's a different situation where you want to defend the situation because you know what I'm going to do. I'm not an unpredictable dude. If you're being disrespected and you tell me you don't like it, I'm gonna tell you got to change. You got to leave. You got to draw the line in the sand, and then if that line is crossed, it's time to go. And understand something, man. I get it. It's not that I don't get it. I get it. we are in a situation where sometimes we don't believe that we have the options that we have. So because we think that it's all gonna go left, or that I'm never gonna have what I have now, or whatever. Hold on, let me get this. Okay.
Matt Stewart.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
What's up, Lance? How you doing, bro?
Dante Nero.
What's going on, brother? How are you?
Do you remember me?
Refresh me.
We did stand-up comedy together.
Lance Stewart. White guy?
Yes, sir.
I do remember you. What's going on, brother? How are you?
I'm a very handsome man, and now I'm 60 years old. Dante, where did you grow up? What's your?
I'm a Brooklyn cat.
So when I start,
I'm a Brooklyn cat.
all right. So I'm in Brooklyn now. I'm in Coney Island.
Okay.
The story I'm about to tell you, I'm going to tell you in a very ambiguous way, because I don't want to get you in trouble, because there's a lot involved. So you'd have to decide how far you want to go, but you can ask questions and I'll answer them for you.
Okay.
So I was jailed May 25th, 2025. I was put in jail for 24 hours
Yeah.
on a criminal mischief charge. I broke my girlfriend's phone.
You broke her phone?
Yes.
Okay.
When they come to arrest me, the whole thing was recorded on TikTok Live.
Okay. Why was that done?
Because I'm a TikTok star.
Okay.
So I was live streaming
Okay.
at the time. And so I did the 24 hours, but what I saw when I did the 24 hours was, I don't know, have you ever been in jail, Dante?
No.
All right, so what I saw was so disturbing. And I just saw a documentary called The Alabama Solution on HBO.
Yeah.
I highly recommend people watch that. But the corruption that's in the whole system you wouldn't believe it unless I told you. So I had to file a complaint on my public defender. I had to file a complaint on the precinct.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go as far to file anything against the judge because I was so scared. But 4 months later, almost, no lawyer will pick up my case. I don't even know who represented me. I have no idea. I filed a complaint on my public defender, and somebody else showed up twice to just represent me.
Okay.
I don't know how that guy got there and
All right,
whatever.
Lance,
but the charges were
understand
dropped.
something. I got other calls, so you got to tighten this up, all right?
Well, I'm just saying, that guy who you just talked to,
Yeah.
that's what happens sometimes is that, things go sideways and there is no structure or support for him,
Right, right.
And
Is,
so,
is that what happened to you? I mean, did you not have somebody to talk to or lean on or put the directions or put you in back on track?
Yeah, so it's been 4 months. I've had no advocacy, no lawyer, no one speak to me, blah, blah, blah. I'm reaching out to different people, journalists, every comic that, we've ever known, comedian I've reached out to, and, anybody that could have reached out to. But the whole situation is so, it's dangerous, man. It's dangerous for you to talk to me. It's dangerous because you know what happens when you do what I just did. When you file complaints, things start to happen,
Is that what the problem is? Is the fact that you're filing these complaints? I mean, I think you have to, because if you don't, then nothing changes. But I'll
tell you one part of the story that got me in trouble. So she's never been in jail. The first pen, I'm in there. The first pen. They think I'm a DV. I'm not. I was falsely charged as a DV. Okay, but they think I'm a DV when I'm in there. And so I'm in there, and they don't guard the first initial pens that you're put in. And when we're in there, one of the police officers tries to get two of the women to fight in the other pen, in the female pen.
Yeah.
And I step up and I go, bro, I want a female officer in here right now.
And he looked at me and goes, who the fuck are you? Excuse me, who the F are you? And I go, I'm your captain. That's who I am. And I'm going to be your sergeant in a second. And the other, police officer grabbed him and pulled him out. So everything changed after that. After I did that, everything changed. But they were definitely going to take me out in the Brooklyn court. Their plan was to take me out in the Brooklyn courthouse jail.
Right.
But I had told them I have ADHD, and they moved me to the non-alpha people. But I had to file complaints, and
Right.
since I did, nothing. And the other thing, you have like 90 days to like sue, to put at least a claim in. And I have ADHD. I wrote up a whole claim and stuff, but I never got it into the 90 days. I never got it up to the comptroller's office, so I didn't really put my claim in. And like I said, I've called lawyers, and no one will pick up the case because I filed a complaint against my
so
public.
let me ask you that. You do understand that there's advocacy nonprofits that help people like that, right?
I mean, I think I've called most of them, but like you get like a kind of a weird runaround. You know what I'm saying? You'll leave and talk to them, and they're like, they won't follow up. You won't get a call back.
Yeah, I mean, you're
it's
gonna
like,
have
all
to.
right,
That goes without saying. Your problem is your problem, is how they see it. So if you want something to be different, then you have to be diligent about it. And if you're not diligent about it, then nobody's gonna care if you don't care about it, So here's the thing that kind of rings true to me is that you said you wrote up this complaint, you had 90 days to put it in, and then you never put it in.
Yeah, because it's like, it's like an ADHD thing. So I have ADHD.
Yeah, I get that, but you got to understand, if you didn't do that, the least of it, then I mean, you can't say that nobody's doing nothing when you didn't do your part. Do you understand?
Well, I mean, the suit doesn't really matter. It's like I wrote up like a $200 million suit against them, but it was the filing of complaints against the precinct and the public defender. That happened. So my public defender got removed. So that's why I didn't have a public defender. And then they called and they tried to like make amends with me, and I was like, nah, I already called the FBI. And no thanks.
Okay,
I don't want
so
any help
let
from
me
the
ask you
police.
this: you have a question, or is this you just wanted to tell a story?
You're the expert, so I called to get some expert advice.
Well, I'm not the expert. I'm not a legal. I don't have a legal degree, but I'll tell you what you can do. You can go on my Instagram, hit me on some Instagram. I might have some people who are advocates for police brutality and stuff. I have a few people that do that kind of work, and and help people out when they're mistreated in prison and stuff like that. There's a few advocates that I know. So if you go on my Instagram, it's the Dante Nero. Put your number in, and then we'll talk about this, and maybe I can put you in contact with somebody who might be able to help. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, that's what I'll do.
All right, brother. I appreciate you, man. Keep your head up, okay? And we'll touch base later. All right.
We'll talk.
All right. Later. I wish I had stayed in. I wish I went to school for law. I didn't. And I'm always one of the things that I'm not. I'm not gonna give somebody any information that I'm not sure about. You know what I mean? I think that speaks to the credibility of things, but yeah, it can happen. Let me see. Let me see. I know somebody asked if Nathan. Okay, Nathan, this is your question. My girl has trouble with my body count. She describes it as uneasiness. She'll freeze, storm off, etc., etc. How do I help this as a feature of me and our relationship? So here's the thing, Nathan. I'm not sure what the body count is, but the thing is that I think that there's some of this. If she's the bottom line is, it is what it is. You can't go backwards. You can't erase your body count. I'm assuming that she. I'm assuming that she is she asked you what your body count was, and you told her the truth, and now she's upset with the fact that she got the truth. You don't. I would say this for me. Nobody better not ask me nothing unless they want to know the truth. I make it clear that if you ask me a question, I'm going to tell the truth. And if you don't want to know the truth, then you won't ask me. I had a girl that I dated, and she would go, there's this question I want to ask you. I'm not sure if I want to know the answer, so I haven't decided whether. I go, well, if you want to know, ask me, and if you don't want to know, then don't ask, because I'm going to tell you the truth. The problem with this is that she's fighting a battle that is if she's not going to move on and move this relationship forward, and you have to kind of put the line in the sand and say, listen, what I did before is before, and if you don't like it and you can't leave, you can't deal with it, then we have to end the relationship. You cannot help her with it. You told her you were honest with her, and if you're not good enough for her to let your past go, what's interesting about this is what's really happening here is this is a lack of forgiveness, right? I don't even know why you would have to be forgiven, but if she's feeling hurt by this, right, what she's not doing is she's not being forgiving even in her own mind. So if she's not going to forgive you, then you need to get out of the relationship, because what ultimately is going to happen is she's just going to torture you about this for the rest of her life, rest of your life, and she's going to put your nuts in the ringer where you got to send me a text message on the comments instead of calling me up and having this conversation. You did nothing wrong. You didn't know her, right? As long as you're not cheating with her and cheating on her now, and you're not doing something to violate your relationship, she's got no beef about it. If she doesn't want to be with somebody who's basically, what she's saying is, I want to be with somebody other than you. Somebody who doesn't have that body count, somebody who doesn't have that experience. And she may want that, or she may not. She may just think she wants that. It's just none of her business, really. You pick and choose. I'm quite sure. I would ask this, Nathan. Did she just find out? Like, were y'all in a relationship and she just found out? Or did she find out and then still move forward on the relationship? There's a lot of questions I'd like to know. Is how long have you been together? How long has she known about the body count? How long ago did you tell her? Is this a new development? There's a whole lot of things that I think are important in this particular situation. And I don't know, you can put it in the comment. But the reality is, what really upsets me is that you can't make a phone call about this because you're afraid because she's sleeping and you don't want to hear it. So if you're not cheating on her, right, then you can't be any better than that. You can't not cheat more. If you're already not cheating, if you're already faithful, if you already love her, you can't not cheat more. And so what she's doing is she's creating these hurdles for you to jump over that you can't jump over, because she's just going to move the goalposts. So what you need to be clear about is that you're not going to tolerate this. Like, it's either she's going to accept you for what you are. You cannot go back and change it. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm assuming you love her. I would assume you're loving her because you're hiding it. You're sending me a message listening to this because you don't want her to be upset, or you don't want to. But you got to understand something. You got to be willing to have the argument. Because if she's emotionally in this place, she's never going to get over this. It's never going to happen until you let her know you don't give a fuck, and she better get over it. Otherwise, it's going to mean the relationship. And then she will decide whether the relationship is more important than her petty nonsense that you can't change. I'm quite sure she's not perfect. And no offense, I'm quite sure she sucked somebody's dick that she didn't know at some point in time, and it's unfair to put you through this. Let me get this call. It's just very unfair to put somebody in that kind of situation.
Voicemail.
Hello? Hello?
Hey, Dante, what's up, man?
Who am I speaking to?
Abdul.
What up, Abdul? How are you, brother?
Good, man. I saw you go live. I just wanted to call in, say what's up. I saw the live last Thursday. You know, you were saying people weren't maybe not calling in or something like that, so I just figured I'd say,
Oh, yeah, but
hello, I'm enjoying it so far. I'm going to hit you up.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. Hit me up when you get a chance, bro.
Yep, I've been laying the 5 bricks. I'm not improvising, so, you know.
Okay. All right,
Got
we'll
some
get it.
stuff to
We'll get
report.
it. I mean, yeah, just do it like we said. We said to do it, and I promise you, it'll all fall into. Are things falling into place?
I mean, I'm just, I'm doing exactly what we talked about. I keep it moving, so.
Yeah, but
I'm
are
not really,
things
like,
falling
engaging or anything
into?
like
Are
that.
things falling into place?
In what sense?
Then there's something you need to call me, because you're different in this. And if you're not seeing a difference, then you're not doing something
Hello?
right. I guarantee you that you're doing something that I'm not telling you to do.
Well, maybe I'll say one thing that I don't know if I was like overthinking this or like psyching myself out, but you know how when we talked last time,
Yeah.
you said, hey, like, just drop it, keep it moving, but it's got to be authentic. So I try to kind of, go exactly by the specs of it. And I was thinking, like, okay, well, is what I'm saying authentic or not? Am I like being needy? Like I was like way too.
Yeah,
in my head.
I didn't.
Anyway, I was like, whatever. I'm just gonna
understand
do
that
it. Like, I'm not.
That's
Yeah.
not dropping it. That goes against everything that I'm telling you. You have to just be honest. There's 2 things I ask you to do: be honest, give the compliment, and don't worry about the response.
Yeah, no, I know, but I was like, am I saying like an authentic thing?
Yeah,
or am I
but
just
you
saying it
understand
just
that
to say it?
those internal conversations you have is exactly what I said not to do. Do you understand my point?
Automatic, so.
Huh?
Yeah, it's automatic. I mean, it's not like I'm not, like I'm still laying the 5 bricks. I'm just saying what comes up.
Yes, what I'm saying to you, if you are allowing yourself to go down that road, whether it be an authentic, then what you need to do is, look, get a rubber band, right? Put it on your wrist, right? Every time you start going down that road where you start thinking too much, pop yourself with the rubber band.
That sounds good. Okay.
All right, because what you're doing is, look, you can't, you know how like when you meditate, sometimes your brain will fill up with all kinds of ideas, and then you can't stop thinking. Well, the point is you have to allow yourself, you have to change the course. And if I ask you, how is it going, and your response is not, I'm just laying the 5 bricks and it's just boom, and I'm very comfortable about it. It's really easy. And then if you're not saying that, then you're not doing what I'm telling you to do.
Oh no. Let me clarify. That part is all easy. Like I have zero like anxiety.
Yeah,
or
but
anything like
part
that. I
of
don't know if that's what
part
you're
of
saying.
it is not overthinking it. This is why we went
I think
back to
I'm
the
just-
first
yeah.
stage in the first place. Is because you're overthinking it. And if you're overthinking it, understand something, that what you're trying to learn is how to communicate non-transactionally, right?
Yeah.
What does that mean? That means you are paying a compliment simply because a compliment should be paid. You are not looking for a thank you. You are not looking for a positive reinforcement. You are not looking for a response or a smile or any of those things. And the minute you start looking for those things, then the conversation is no longer non-transactional.
Yeah.
And maybe you think because you're not trying to get a number or you're not trying to get laid or whatever, but the simple fact that you're going through these thought processes is that you are overthinking it. And this is a problem that I have with anytime I have, because Abdul, I mean, you're a smart dude, right? But smart dudes always try to do it their own way. They always overthink it. They always come up with a million things. Just do what the fuck I say. It can't be any more simple. And if you do it the way I'm telling you to do it, then I guarantee you it will change your mind. It'll change your life. But the simple fact that when I ask you the question, how is it going, and you're hesitant about it, tells me everything that you're mentally looking. See, I know you think that transactionally it means, well, I didn't ask for the number. But if you ever have I remember I dated this girl one time, and she would say, I would say, I'd be talking and I lose my train of thought. And she said, I'd be like, damn, I forgot what I was going to say. And she'd go, you were going to tell me how beautiful I was, right? And because she's fishing for compliments was one of the reasons why I stopped dating her, because it just was such a pain in the freaking neck that every time I said something, she was always looking for validation and always looking for, tell me I'm pretty, tell me this, and it's not that I wasn't thoughtful and open, but I gave compliments when I wanted to get them, not when you kept fishing for them, and because of that, it was because she was looking for validation. And so when you tell me you're thinking about all of this other stuff, why would you be thinking that? The reason is because you're looking for the validation. You're looking for a response. Now, I understand that you don't think it's a response if you're not trying to get the number, if you're not trying to have a conversation, but you are still looking for some minuscule of validation so that you can feel better about yourself, which speaks intimately to your insecurity.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what I'm
totally
telling you not to do, huh?
You're totally right. I think I thought about it. So the first week I was doing this, I was like, wait, like, all these thoughts, right? I was like, man, I thought they just said, just do it. Why the F am I like even like thinking about it so much? So then I was like, okay, but I got to do it in a way that's like not needy. And then I was like, okay, let's just drop it. I don't even give it, like, just do it and go. So past 2 weeks, that's been kind of how it is. But yeah, the first week I was like, wait, what the fuck? Why is my brain full of all these thoughts all of a sudden?
It's because you're not doing it that way. You're looking for validation.
Yeah.
And that is not gonna that is the opposite definition of somebody doing something transactionally.
Yeah.
So, and this is the
even
same,
thinking about, is it transactional or not?
I just let's be honest. What am I asking you to do? Pay a compliment that you think is honest.
Yeah.
What are the parameters? Don't let it be sexual. Don't let it be every attractive only women that are you talking to all women or no?
All, yeah.
Or are you talking to just women that you find attractive?
No, all. Whoever I notice something about, like that I feel like I can honestly say something, those are the ones. If it's old, young, thin, fat, doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, you're still looking for this validation, and this is a childhood thing where you're looking for this validation. Like we do that when we do that, where do we learn that? We learn that from, our parents. That when we're looking for their approval, we're looking for and so you're a grown ass man, but you're still looking for your parents' approval. And when it's not your parents' approval, you move that to somebody who is not your parent, somebody else who to strangers, and this you want to be liked, and you want somebody to smile back, or you want them to respond, and that is not what I told you to do. I specifically said just drop you don't even have to wait for the response.
No, I don't. I just drop it and I go. That part I was definitely.
I guarantee you're hesitating. I guarantee it. And I'll tell you, hesitating to leave because you want the response. It's like somebody saying, "Oh, I don't give a shit. I don't care if she calls back or not."
No. I'll be honest. I'll be honest. I care in that. I think you're right. Like I was thinking. Like,
I know I'm right.
Specific thing
I appreciate you telling me I'm right, but I absolutely know. And I know this, and I'm not watching you. Like it's not you and I out in the street. And I know what you're doing because your response tells me everything that I want to know.
Yeah.
That you are not doing this on a basic level of let me drop the compliment. That's all. It couldn't be easier. But you're complicating it because you're insecure and you want the validation from the social interaction. And that's why and until you learn to do that, you're not going to grow.
Yeah.
Big shout to Will Bags. Thank you for the $10, family. It's not going to change. You're not going to move forward. And so, and I'm going to tell you something. We're not going to move forward until it gets right. Until it's right.
I was gonna call and say the same thing. I was like, I'm just gonna keep doing this until I feel that I'm not needing anything.
I need you to drop the compliment and move on and stop. Wait, I know you're hesitating. I don't even have to ask.
No, Dante, I promise I'm not hesitating.
You are because, and if you're not hesitating, you're moving on with the still. Well, I wonder if they looked at me. I wonder if they responded. I wonder if they liked the compliment. I wonder if you're going.
No, you know what goes. I'll tell you exactly because I wrote about this every single interaction. You know where I am needing validation is I'm like, well, they better know that I don't need anything from them. Like, does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, it's the same thing. To say that.
It's the same thing. Ultimately, it's the same thing.
That's like somebody, you ever hear somebody say, I'm an alpha male? That is the pussiest dude you ever want to know. Because a guy who's confident in himself, they don't even mention that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm not gay.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you suck dick. You definitely suck dick. So when you go,
exactly.
They better not think that I want anything from. I don't even care. Yeah, well, you do care. You absolutely care.
Yeah.
And so, but you got to understand something. Your mentality has to change. You can do this 100 times, 1,000 times, and you can do it wrong, and you won't change. It won't change. It won't change in your brain.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It is you just noticing something that's beautiful and different and speaking on it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't validate you. It doesn't change them. It doesn't change. And if it does change them, that's on them.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. It works both ways. Like when people give you the accolades and they pat you, oh, well, you're a great guy and you're this, you're that. I don't pick that up either. See, if you pick that up, you got to pick it. If you pick up the accolades, you got to pick up the criticisms.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is, I have value because somebody else thinks I'm valuable. And if you say that, then what does that mean when they don't think you're valuable?
Yeah, then you
ain't shit. And this is exactly what you're doing. And I know you are.
I'm going to keep laying the 5 bricks. Yeah. What I thought about it.
Get the rubber band. Get a rubber band and pop the shit out of your wrist every time you start doing that, because you have to change your thinking.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right, Abdul. I appreciate you, bro.
All right.
Later.
Hey, thanks so much, Dante. Appreciate you. I'll call you next week.
Yeah. Let's get it.
Take care.
Yeah, I find that intelligent people, like super intelligent, he's a really smart dude. But intelligent people have the hardest time because they overthink everything. Let me see. Would you ever get back together with an ex? It depends on the ex. I mean, LK asked me if I'd ever get back with. It depends on the ex. It depends on if I was at a place in my life where I could see the value of somebody that I didn't see before. But if I'm somebody that had problems, right, and I have matured in a way that I had a problem with something, and I still have that problem. I mean, you know what split you up from the person. You know what it is, and you know whether it's if you could live with it or not. You know. So the question is, it depends on the person. You know. Also, the cash app is up, man. Give me some money. Stop playing. Marcelo Alvarez, he says, I work in an office with hundreds of people. Does no, it does not. Laying the 5 bricks as has to be random people off the street off the time. It's no problem. You can always ask the same questions. I can't expect you to be here every time I answer a question. I mean, it would be great if every one of y'all were on every live and hitting my cash app, but I can't expect that. Also, yes, laying the 5 bricks already in a relationship. Yes, I mean, you got to keep because you're not doing this to get. And when you're in a relationship, when you lay the 5 bricks, it's the best thing in the world because you're not supposed to indulge if you're in a committed relationship. It's the best time. Then you don't have the problem like Abdul where you're looking for the response. Nathan was talking to me about this girl that doesn't like his body count. Correct. She asked me when we started dating. So you got to understand something, Nathan. If she asked you what your body count was when you started and you told her, right? She got in this relationship knowing what it is. She better not have a situation where she's giving you a hard time about what your body count is. It's unfair, it's disrespectful, and it's abusive.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, yo, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Dano from Palm Bay, Florida.
What's up, Del? How you doing, bro? How can I help you?
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Do I need to turn down the phone?
Say again?
Why do I hear a phone ringing?
You can't live because you're listening to me online and you're on the phone at the same time. You can't listen to both. You got to either talk to me or listen to the show.
Oh. Okay. I just called to say that you and Patrice were a hero of mine for many, many years. I followed the 5 bricks. I've listened to you guys on every episode of the Black Phillip Show. I'm just calling to say that you guys changed my life. I'm 38 years old. I'm married to a 26-year-old girl, and the happiest I've ever been in my life. Thank you, guys.
I appreciate you. Thanks for calling in, man. Thanks for calling in. Keep listening, all right? Because you know the rules and the stuff are evolving, and things are changing. I'm evolving, and it's evolving, and life is evolving, and so things change. And you know, I'm glad that you're living your best life, but you want to stay in that place. Keep listening, okay?
All right, I appreciate it.
All right, brother. I appreciate you too. And hit that cash app. Give me some money.
Will do.
Ja. This is dope. We got Ja calling from Singapore. What's up, Ja? I don't know. It's JAA, but I hope I'm not murdering his name. Nathan, again, dating 5 months and 2 weeks. If she asks you 2 weeks into it and she's still going through this, well, man, get out of that relationship, or at least if she's gonna keep doing this, you gotta make ultimate decisions. Don't give ultimatums. You need to end the relationship and let her know that you're not gonna continue to go through this. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. You know, who you slept with has absolutely nothing to do with the way that you treat her and who she is. And would you want to go through all the dirty shit that she's done that she's not telling you? That time she sucked somebody's dick in a men's bathroom or whatever, or some dirty motherfucker it's just really, you got to understand something. There's two, I guess, I'm talking shit, but the best way to put this is this. There's two things you will have to do for the rest of your life as a human being is give for forgiveness and ask for forgiveness. And nobody gets away from that. Nobody doesn't have that as a situation. We all make mistakes. We're all imperfect. And if we're willing to admit where we've made mistakes or maybe where we've offended people and we're willing to change or be different or compromise, then there's nothing else. There's nothing else that you can there's nothing you can do about that if somebody's not willing to. I had a girl I was dating, and she was listening to an interview I did, and I talked about my old personal management pimp days, and she called me down, and she was like, "We need to talk," and I was like, "Yeah, okay." So we met up at this restaurant. She was like, "Well, I heard your interview, and and I heard you were a pimp," and I go, "Yeah, I was a pimp, and you probably blew a dude that you didn't like." Like, I mean, what are we talking about? I go, I really hope you didn't bring me down here to question our relationship because of that. Because if that's the case, you can keep it moving. Because what do I do about that? I mean, and first of all, I understand that maybe she hadn't heard it or she didn't know, but the reality of this was I don't hide it. And when it came out, when I talked about it, I wasn't bragging about it. It's not something I brag about. It is some of the parts of the whole that put life together for me to make me who I am today. And it's not something I'm bragging about, but it's also not something that I'm ashamed of. I've learned from that, and I'm a better person for it. So the same thing, Nathan, is that, look, if somebody don't want to be with you, then stop playing games with you. I mean, she clearly likes you. That's why she's staying in it, and she's torturing you. But what she's trying to do is ultimately, why do you think she keeps bringing this up in her head? She's trying to find a way to be out. She's trying to leave. And she just hasn't, she likes you too much that she doesn't want to leave. But eventually she will find a reason to leave if this bothers her so much. And then she'll be with somebody else who will have a bigger body count that just won't tell her the truth. It's just absurd. Nobody should have that control over you, because you can always leave and find somebody else. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, all right, Rigo. You're blocked. Fucking idiot. I don't need you in your negative energy, you dickhead. Fucking dickhead. Anyway, just showing some love, big bro. Jay Watt. Hey, what up, Jay? What's going on? Like the damn vibe. Let's get those likes up. Thank you, bro. Get the likes up. Thank you. Let me see. Big shout to Deontay Williams. Thank you for the $5, brother. Also, Levi, thank you for the $5. Appreciate you, bro. What do I think it makes a relationship work? What makes a relationship work is work. A main thing I should look for as a young man and a woman. Mally, here's the thing I think you have to do. You have to decide what it is that you have to decide what it is you want. And I don't know how young you are or how old you are, but I mean, to think about what you want your relationship to look like. Do you want somebody who loves you, somebody who wants you to be happy, who thinks about you when they're not thinking about a way to make you happy? Big shout to Das Designs. Thank you for the $20. You want to? I think what we have to do, and something that nobody does, is we don't define what we like. And so when we don't define what we like, overall what happens is we don't know what the destination is. You got to figure out what it is, how you want it to end up. What do you want this relationship to look like? Do you want somebody who is going to be kind and sweet and submissive, or you want somebody that's outgoing or whatever? You have to define that first. And then, because if you don't define what it is you like, right, then what will happen is you'll never get there. Or when you do get there, you won't know what to do. You won't know how to access that, or how to even be in that space. And what happens a lot of times is when we grow up with parents, a lot of times the way we look at our mother, we see womanhood in that way. So I had a friend of mine who his mother, I said, God, she's still an evil bitch. But we grew up together, and she was just nasty. And anytime he would get a nice girl, he'd get a girl that liked him and it was for him, he'd dog her out. And then anytime he would get a woman who was just a bitch on fire, that was the one he would fall in love with, because his mother was such an evil chick. I remember, I lived next door to her for years, and she would literally, like the cable guy would come and he would be standing outside afraid to go in, because she was the type of woman to be yelling at him and, wouldn't even tell him, well, how could you do this? And I'm going to call this. And then she was just like, a bitch on fire. But what happens is as a child, we grow up experiencing that, and we define womanhood in the context of what our mother was. Doesn't happen all the time, but a lot of times it does. And then what we do is we look at our relationships mimic the same thing over and over again. It starts to mimic those things over and over again. So we look for people who are volatile and angry because our mom was angry, or we look for somebody, if our mom was somebody where we never did enough, and we never did enough, or we never, they were never satisfied with us. We look for those people who end up being, we repeat the scenario where we end up doing. Making the same decisions, and when we meet somebody who is like our mom, it feels like home. So we end up picking those people, and we end up in a situation where the relationship is never going to work, because eventually we get tired of it. So there's something there. Phone lines are open, 929-269. Let's go Cards 04. Hey, Dante, out of some financial debt, 2 jobs, working 60 hours a week, a lot of days recently. I just feel completely burnt out. Would appreciate some encouragement. Look, man, the fact that you're doing all the things that you're doing is amazing. Think about how many people are not doing that at all, who are just sitting on their butt and not trying to move forward. And so keep in mind, what you're doing is the thing that makes you special, bro. But don't be in a situation where you're not taking advantage of things, and where you don't have a balance. So I would say that. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yo, Dante.
Yo, what up?
My bad. Yo, it's John, baby. What's good?
What's going on, John? How are you, baby? What's going on?
I'm good, big bro. I'm good. Hey, man, I was compelled to call, man, because you were speaking to me, and I saw somebody with a question. So I wanted to contribute to one of your answers by regurgitating something that I heard you say a long time ago.
Okay.
That I found very useful.
Okay.
And then also speak on the mom as an example.
Yeah.
When you're talking about, somebody was talking about relationships and how do you know about being in a good relationship and all that.
Right.
And one of those things that I remember you saying a long time ago, I feel like you said it to me in conversation, bro.
Probably.
But it was like, make sure you set your expectations and communicate them well.
Yeah.
Right. Like, yeah. So in other words, like, it comes down all the little things that you could probably think to talk about, whether it's the female or the male. What do you expect from the relationship? What do you expect the other person to contribute to you? You know what I'm saying? And how, even talk about how you want to deal with conflict when conflict comes up. How do you deal with conflict?
Yeah.
So that when a situation arises, y'all know how to deal with each other without sending each other to the moon.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
And like
Also, when you even in anger, you have something to refer back to say, whoa.
right.
You know, we both agreed that we wouldn't
Right.
deal with it like this, which brings you back to earth.
Right.
You know.
Right. I was having so that was me in GM saying I'm close to popping this question, bro. I'm here now. I'm in a good
Right.
spot.
Okay.
And you know, we were talking a couple weeks ago, and I was like, yo, you know, we talking about marriage, right? Very
Yeah.
openly and this type of thing. And I was like, yo, like, so let's map out like what do you expect in this category? Okay, so we went down the money road, and we went down the you know, the household responsibilities road. Then we went down, you know, the sex expectations road,
Yeah.
right? Then we went down the argument road. So it's like, yo,
Yeah.
like, all right, so, you know, because we not always, you know, because we do pretty good at arguing, but it's like, okay, what's going to send you? What's going, like, how should I react when you say this? Or like, oh, and
Right.
I think she was like, you know what? Give me a beat, because I might not be trying to hear what you're trying to say, and, like, let's revisit it, like, because if you don't understand, I'm not going to understand why you don't understand in the moment.
Right.
So we can revisit it another day after I chill. I'm like, okay, bet I know for now, so I know that I'm not going to come right at you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you're already pissed off, it's not going to make the situation any better.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, little stuff like that, man, when you communicate it out and get full understanding,
Yeah.
that's you know, as best preparation as you can have for, you know, what's going to be inevitable in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it makes it all manageable. I mean, I think all of that is great. That, you know, conflict resolution, money, all of that stuff we should understand. So this way, when somebody goes, "Hey, you ain't holding your end of the bargain," you know what the bargain that you made.
Right.
You know.
Right. We talked about this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we talk about it at a good, you know, level-headed.
Yeah.
You know, taking both persons' perspectives and thing into consideration, so that, like, you have a good base of understanding, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's what, you know, I feel, you know, real good about it going in, because I'm like, yo, we hashed it out. Like, there's no mystery to me.
Yeah.
And you know, unlike, you know, I'm married before a long time ago, but I was young, bro. I was like 24.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, take those lessons and learn. But, like, again, that's something that I know I got a nugget from you a while back, and I was like, you know what, I gotta come around with that and use
I
that.
probably
bro.
was talking about it in terms of sex, because that is the biggest thing when you're in
Yeah,
love.
you were.
Yeah,
I ain't want to blow up the spot.
No,
but
no, it's fine. It's fine.
I know it's in the conversation.
Yeah, that was the real thing, because guys get married and the assumption is I'm gonna be. Her assumption is that you will be faithful, and then she doesn't even have an understanding that she's supposed to fuck you. Because I can't tell you how many sexless marriages people have, or, you know, how it comes out the gate, it's real, it's hot and heavy, especially while he loves me and we're gonna get married and we're gonna be together and it's all popping, and then when the dust gets knocked off of it, you know what I'm saying? It ain't all go. And so that is one of the things. I mean, without a doubt. I mean, yes, all the conflict resolution, money, all of those things are just as important. But what's really important is what we take for granted is the sexual engagement, because it is almost assumed. Like, you want me to be, you know. Hold on. Big shout to Christian. Thank you for the $10. You want me to be faithful, and then you don't want to fuck me, or you want me to be faithful. And I like, this is crazy. When you what would you get married if somebody said, "I'm not gonna suck your dick except for on your birthday"? Like,
yeah, right. Nah.
Is that something you would really sign up for if you had that conversation before?
Right. And you know what's funny? Like, so, you know, that portion of the conversation, and she was like, all right, well, you know, if I'm not always in the mood, like define sex, like, does it always have to be? And I was like, hey, like, as long as a favor's being had, like, you know what I'm saying? If you're not, you know, looking for duality, that's cool. But, you know, take care of the kids sometimes, even if the situation just calls for, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you know what?
Whatever. It's like,
I've
you know,
also seen somebody.
That counts.
Yeah, it does count, but be clear that getting getting blowjob, getting a blowy is not always enough, and that could be. I know a chick who absolutely was all she didn't want to have sex, and she was giving out handies. You know what I mean? And it's like, and it's, I mean, look, I'm just saying, I'm not judging where it should be at, but I'm saying be clear that you are upfront and honest about it, because I guarantee, I mean, and you were married, so you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
That's the first thing that changes.
Yep.
You know,
No doubt.
And it's gotta be, hey, if this is not gonna happen, understand something, I'm not gonna do without. So you can take that the way you wanna take it, you know.
Right.
Because what you're asking for, what they're asking for is unmitigated fidelity. Mm-hmm. And then I get to ration, and I'm saying, you know, I mean, what's within reason. I mean, if you got hit by a train or something, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I'll let you heal up. But look, you know.
Yeah, if you got your wisdom teeth pulled or something.
It's cool. But let's understand something. I expect a healthy sex life throughout the course of this relationship. And if it's not, understand this, that I'm not going to do it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think if you say that out loud and not in an argument or not when it goes left, it's not unreasonable. And if somebody thinks that that's unreasonable, then you're marrying the wrong person.
Yeah, that's a different conversation completely.
Yeah, you're definitely.
You coming down this month?
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm only really coming down for y'all, but because Lamont wanted me to do the podcast and stuff, so I'm gonna come down and rock with him, and come down and hang. But yeah, I'll be down there. I'll be down in DC with Godfrey, so it's cool.
Okay, I'm gonna try to cop some tickets for Sunday, bro. Saturday was sold out.
All right, cool. All right, I'll holler.
I'm gonna see you regardless, though. Yep.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. I'll holler later. Yeah, I think that's a really important thing, and I think to have that conversation. I know that sounds kind of hokey when you say it's all about communication, but you got to be. But it's also about putting your happiness first. It's not. It's not being in a situation where you going, hey, you got to be like, this is what I want. This is what I want out of this. And it's okay. It's okay if somebody doesn't want to do that, then that's fine. But it also means that that's not your person. So, it's just not your person. And you want to be in a real way. You want to be, you want to, I mean, if you're going to make that jump, and you want to be with somebody who you want to be with somebody who's going to make you happy. I mean, you want to make this a good thing. So, Mally goes, how do you know if you want a girl back truly to make things right, or if it's ego? Like just wanting to have that person around to make you feel good. I mean, here's the thing. The simple fact that I think, Mally, what you have to do is you have to ask yourself, why do you want this person back? And I'm assuming, Mally, you're a young dude, because the questions, there's some youth on the questions you're asking me. Here's the thing. We want to be wanted. Everybody wants to be wanted, and sometimes we even want to be wanted by the people who we don't want. It is a level of validation. When you really start working on yourself and you're the best version of yourself, you stop looking for other people to give you that validation so that you can feel good about yourself. So you have to take stock of where you are and where you want to go. And when you take stock of where you are and where you want to go, then what ultimately happens is you don't need the validation from other people. And don't get me wrong, it's not always an easy thing to do, because it's I mean, one of the calls I just had is about, his whole problem is this idea of validation. And and where that comes from, you can figure out where that comes from. But the reality is, if you have defined what the best version of yourself is, what that looks like, and you're pursuing that, then you don't need the validation from other people, because it's great when people like you, right? But if you pick that up, when they criticize you, then you ain't shit. It's great when they love you, but when they don't love you, you ain't shit. You got to be confident about what you're putting out, the time and the effort and the what your intention is. And just because somebody doesn't always see it, or because they don't have the ability to see it, or the acuity or the intellect to see it, doesn't change your mind, because you've done everything to achieve that level. So it's like somebody says you're broke, right? And you're making six figures, right? And you got money in the bank. They can't tell you that you're not broke. They can't tell you you're broke if you're not broke. If you're 7'2", somebody can't call you shorty. It doesn't affect you. The only time these things affect you is when you really don't believe what you have to offer. And the way you get that confidence is by doing the work. You got to do the work. If you know that you've achieved a level of, I give you an example. I mean, at my best, when I was younger, my best bench press was 530 pounds. It's a pretty good bench press for anybody, right? But when I was doing 530 pounds, somebody couldn't tell me I was weak, because I just knew that it wasn't something that everybody could do, So the confidence comes from what you are, which means what you do, the things that you practice, the things that you move to fix, the things that you work on every day, not how people perceive you, or it is what the work that you do and you put in every day. So there's that. Phone lines are up, 929-269. I think I'm going to take one more call and then I'm going to shut it down. Yeah. What up, Andy? Yeah, them days is gone, though. My back is a mess. I still could probably do 4 plates, but, on a really good Tuesday. Let's put it like that. Yeah, I think we're going to shut this down, man. We've been up for an hour and a half, and I got some work to do, some contact. Please, y'all, like and subscribe on my other channel, the Dante Nero channel. I got some content that I'm putting out there, some interesting content. I'm doing some editing for that stuff. So check that out. Don't forget to follow on Instagram, The Dante Nero and The Real Man School. Real Man School is also, we're streaming on both of those today, and as well as everything else. Andy, keep grinding, baby. Keep grinding. And if you fall off, don't worry about it. You just get back on and keep grinding. Yo, I appreciate y'all. Absolutely. Y'all are the best fans in the world, man. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe, especially look at my my YouTube, the Dante Nero, my personal YouTube page. Please follow and subscribe. Don't forget that, let me go real quick. Put the banners up. Shit. Don't forget to follow on the Patreon. Patreon's the best way to support the show. It's patreon.com/manschool202. And don't forget the one-on-one consultations at DanteNero.com. Click on consult. And if y'all got something that's a little more involved, please check me out. I'll help you out the best I can. Man, I love y'all. We out of here. GYBB, get your balls back. WWDD, What Would Dante Do? Sexual Revolutions being podcasted. Love y'all, man. We out of here. Peace.